So it's time to pull out the framing square. Notice on the thicker leg here that there's a bunch of numbers underneath the inch marks, starting at the 2 and going up to the 23. That's called the Essex table, and that's what we're going to talk about. The Essex table lists board feet corresponding to different lengths and widths. So instead of performing calculations, one can simply locate the desired value by referencing the table. All right, so to use the Essex table on your square, you always start at the 12-inch mark. The column of numbers listed under the 12 are lengths of boards in feet. So let's say you have an 8-foot long board. You go to the 12, you find the 8 under the 12. Then you're going to either go to the left or right, depending on the width of your board in inches. So if your board is 11 inches wide, then you find the 8, the length, and then you travel along that same row that the 8's on until you come to the width represented by the inch mark. So here we find the 8-foot board, 11 inches wide, and under the 11 we see the numbers 7 and 4. The 7 represents full board feet, and the 4 represents partial board feet as a fraction of 12. So we read these two numbers as 7 and 4/12 board feet. That is the number of board feet in a board 8 feet long and 11 inches wide that is 1 inch thick. Everything on this scale listed on your framing square is based on 1 inch thicknesses. But that's no problem, because if it's 2 inches thick, then you would just double 7/4 and you'd have 14/8. So that's pretty easy, right? Let's just do one more example to make sure we have it straight in our minds. Let's say we have a board that's 14 feet long and 15 inches wide. Again, 1 inch thick. Let's see how many board feet that has. We first locate the 12. Then we go down below the 12-inch mark until we find the length of the board in feet. Here's our 14 feet. Now we have to travel straight across on this row until we fall underneath the 15-inch mark, which represents the width of the board in inches. And we see 17 and 6/12 board feet. There is one other scenario to be aware of. If a board is 12 inches wide, then the length of the board is its board feet. We know what to do when a board is thicker than 1 inch. We just look up the board feet number based on 1 inch and then multiply those numbers by the thickness. But if the stock is under 1 inch, typically it's tallied as being 1 inch thick. Similarly, there's only 7 lengths listed under the 12. So if your length is longer than any of the lengths listed here, you might have to add 2 of them together, or you might have to multiply. Say you're doing a 30-foot length, you'd look up the 15-foot length and multiply the numbers by 2. If you're really paying attention, you'll also notice that the length of 12 is not listed as one of our reference lengths. And that's because a board that is 12 feet long has the same number of board feet as its width in inches. Here's a bonus tip for you. Instead of treating the column of numbers below the 12 as reference lengths, treat those numbers as reference inches of width, and then treat the inch marks across the top of the square as the reference lengths. And you'll notice you'll get the same numbers as I'm pointing to here. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. And don't forget to check out some of my other cool videos listed right here. Have a great day.